Former President Trump faces a series of investigations looking into his role in the January 6th riots, potential fraud in his family businesses, and sexual assault allegations. Those probes could come to a head in the new year and could impact his political future. Despite that, and no longer holding office, Trump remains a key figure in the Republican Party.
It doesn't matter what Trump does. It doesn't matter what Trump says. We all know that the GOP is never going to abandon him, no matter what. Even after his time passes, he will be an icon and an idol to the American right. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jackson White, co-founder and chief of content at Politiscope, and thank you for tuning in again today to TYT. Now, let's take a deeper look into why exactly the Republican Party is footing the bill for so many of Donald Trump's legal cases.
There's no precedent for this. Just sort of step back and explain why there's no precedent. Former President Trump is not a Republican candidate. He's not a Republican office holder. And the investigations he's facing have nothing to do with his time in office. They all predate. They focus on his business in the years before he ran for president. So there's no connection to the Republican Party or Republican office holders involved here. But the Republican Party is still paying this money. And obviously Trump has a pot of money in his pocket. He has money in his business. He could afford this, but they're paying his bills anyway. And what the Republican Party says is, well, we see this as a political attack on Trump, a famous Republican. This is Democrats out to get him in New York. And so we're happy to pay his bills. What I think is really going on here is that Trump, although he's out of office and is not running, is a linchpin in Republican fundraising efforts. He is the key to the RNC's fundraising future. And if he were to turn on them, if he were to leave, if he were to talk bad about them, that could be devastating. So
Now, the most fascinating thing to me about the state of the Republican Party as a whole is how so many of the key members of the GOP knew what Donald Trump would do to the party. Now, it isn't as if the GOP hasn't been pushing themselves this far to the right for years and years. However, Donald Trump was the final nail in the coffin, the place from which they cannot currently escape. Upwards of 70% of the Republican Party believes that you have to believe Trump won in 2020 in order to consider yourself a true Republican. And over half of the party believes that there's sufficient evidence to say that we can overturn the election and Trump can be reinstated. Donald Trump runs the party. We talk about all the time how the next two most popular members in the party are dozens of points beneath him. There is no one else in the party. And so because of that, without him, there's no money, and without him, there's no election wins. And that puts them in a very dangerous position because they have no options other than to take, as we talk about more and more. So keep in mind that as the Republican Party continues to go out and continues to crumble, they're going to go down swinging, and they're going to go down swinging very, very hard. And Donald Trump is the perfect window into seeing this reality.